My name is Dana Swasson. I'm a sommelier. I'm the owner of Future Wine Shop Cedar Falls in Cedar Falls, Iowa. I'm certified 2015 by the Court of Master Sommeliers and WSET Wine and Spirit Education Trust Level 3.
My name is Ray Doyle. I am the Food and Beverage Director at the Surety Hotel. I have been certified through the Court of Master Sommeliers since October of 2017. My favorite part about this dish was all the contrasting textures in it. It's rich and creamy. There's salty parts and sweet parts. There's just a lot going on. I think just the decision of do I want to match some of the textures in this or contrast them was the most challenging decision. For the first course, I went with the Tarellan Pinot Bianco from Alto Adige. I went with Pinot Blanc for this dish because I felt like it had the right amount of acidity and fresh fruit flavors. What I had to think about a little bit was, do I want a more classic Pinot Blanc, like one from Alsace that would have a little more body, a little richer texture to match the richness of the dish, or did I want to go lighter and kind of cut through the richness of it? That's ultimately why I decided on the Pinot Bianco instead.
I love the spice. I love the Moroccan spices that he included in the dish, and I think they just blend and work really well together. It's finding that line of, my radar zeroed in on the things that I knew I needed to find in a wine, and really it was just a matter of kind of racking my brain and finding those elements that I needed in the wine to be able to complement the soup. For the first course, for the butternut squash, the Moroccan butternut squash bisque, I chose Gavi. The grape is Cortese, and it's from the Piedmont in northern Italy. Cortese is grown, the grape is grown in the Piedmont in Gavi, and it's a white grape. The wine produced is a full-bodied wine, but with a good amount of acidity, which is exactly what I needed for that dish. I needed some acid and body to match the body of the soup. When I tasted the dish, I thought it was absolutely amazing. All of the chefs are very talented, so I wasn't really expecting to have anything that I didn't love, but it was absolutely amazing. I liked his preparation. I loved his plating. The plating was beautiful. All of the elements of the dish worked really well together. I just wanted to bring some of those high notes into the dish with the bubbles and the nice high acid of the sparkling wine. I chose the Earhart sparkling wine. The grape is Pinot Noir, 100% Pinot Noir from Germany. It's a Brut sparkling wine. The most challenging thing about this pairing for me was to really decide which way do I want to go with this, because octopus in and of itself is just a pretty neutral. Really you're just talking about texture with octopus. So I really had to think about all of the ingredients that were on the plate and how they work together and what I could bring in to help complement that. So I could have taken a left turn and gone with reds. I could have taken a right turn and gone with stills, and I just plowed straight ahead and went with bubbles, because that's what we were sipping with that day that we had that dish, and it was perfect together.
For this dish, I was originally thinking about something Spanish. I thought about a Rioja Blanco. I thought about quite a few lighter body red Spanish wines. I really like Minthia. I thought that could be cool. Even considered a rosé dominated by Tempranillo, but ultimately this seemed a little too obvious. I was thinking a little too narrowly about it. There's a ton of Spanish influence in this dish: the charred octopus, the chorizo, the saffron aioli. And ultimately I decided I wanted to contrast that instead of trying to match it. And I thought about a lot of different things. I definitely would have not thought of Syrah to begin with. Just typically a dense, tannic, savory wine, a big, serious wine. And this dish called for something much lighter. Course 2, I selected the Sirocco Syrah made by the French producer Alain Griot in Zenata, Morocco. I wanted something fruit-forward, easy drinking, really bright acidity, and this Syrah out of Morocco really surprised me. French wine producer, mostly making wine in the northern Rhone, and this wine definitely has some influence from that. Very nuanced, complex, but overall just a little bit more laid back. This is like a nice, sunny tapas wine. I will say that no one is more surprised by my pairing choice here than I am. I don't think I've ever paired Merlot with anything, and especially not duck. This dish was kind of perfectly designed to be difficult to pair with. It's duck, but it's almost treated like a steak or something, some richer protein. There's also these charred, earthy, smoky elements, but it's also bright and acidic. So choosing a wine was kind of a nightmare. Kind of zeroing in on the most unique element of the dish was the mole negra. And the thing that makes mole unique is the cocoa element. And what pairs better with cocoa than Merlot? For course 3, I went with the Idle Cellars Merlot from Sonoma Valley. I kind of knew that that's what I wanted, but then I knew that I needed to find one that had really structured tannins, a big punch of acidity, and some of the similar flavors that are in the dish. I was looking for black pepper, I was looking for that chocolate note. Ended up with the Idle Cellar Merlot because it has the added bonus of this nice smokiness, which I think pulls the pairing together.
So this was my secret weapon wine that I was so hoping I would have a dish to pair with this wine. I was just had my fingers crossed the whole time. I even asked my competitor if she had a secret wine, but which I'm sure she'll surprise me with her amazing picks as well. But so this wine I really wanted to pair. I just needed a dish that it would work with. And when I heard it was duck, I was like, oh, you know, a classic pairing would be like a Pinot Noir, something on the lighter bodied red. But the plate was very complex, and the component of the plate that allowed me to bring this amazing wine in was the mole sauce that he had with the duck. It brought a level of gravity to the dish that could stand up to a Tempranillo. For the third dish, for the duck course, I chose the 2009 Vina Tondonia Rioja from Spain, the Grapus Tempranillo. The most challenging thing was to convince myself that this was the right pairing. I felt in my heart it was, but that I wasn't just grasping at straws to try to bring this in. So I really broke the dish down in my mind, went over all of the, you know, the intricacies of food and wine pairing, and I thought, okay, I'm going for it. So I did. It's so good.